What's going on, everybody? Ian back with a book haul, but just a small little update. I decided to just go ahead and do this book haul. I am waiting still on one book. It is running late. I've been getting notifications from Amazon, but that's understandable with all the crap that's going on. So it's just part of a series. So I've got the rest of the books in the series, so I'll just skip over that one and just say this is where that one is. I believe it is it's number 3 in the series. So. Uh, First off, I just want to let you guys know I am working my way through Don't Look Back by Greg Horowitz. This is basically about a newly singled mother. Her husband ran away with somebody else. So typical cliche for this type of book, I guess. And so she decides she's got to reset her life. So she takes off to she had a planned trip with her husband to Mexico to go in the jungles and do all the exploring stuff. So she decides she's still going to go, and then while down there, she stumbles off a walking path and stumbles upon my guess is some sort of sex trafficking ring, and she noticed that some guy is killing somebody, and that guy all of a sudden, and she starts taking pictures, which that's what happens, yes. And the guy notices she forgets to turn off the flash or something. So now it's just kind of a cat and mouse game through the jungle. We'll see. I'm like 50 pages in, but I decided to give Greg Hurwitz some more chances after I loved his Orphan series. And then I'm also working with this is the second book in the Chronicles of the Long War, starting out with a bang right already. And I'm still I can basically the gist of this book because I couldn't really explain. There's a lot of shit going on in the first book, and I couldn't really explain. From what I can tell, it's this land where there is 7 enchantresses or witches who are trying to in the background. They're like the Sith in the Star Wars universe. They're in the background and they are trying to control everybody. And there is one assassin who has the ability. I don't know if it's been revealed how he can do it. He's the only one that can kill these things. These witches. And so it's kind of like that. It's really hard to explain, but it's really good. These witches, because back in the past, with the lore with this book is giants used to run the world and stuff like that. Without like they were the dinosaurs before humans, and these witches are trying to conjure up the giants again, trying to bring the giants back to conquer mankind. So it's kind of like that. That's the history of it, and it's just basically a bunch of characters. Because of course there's a rebellion that has figured out these witches are trying to conquer humanity, and they go after them. But this assassin is the only one who can kill them. So we got that series I'm going on. All right, and then I will say, after that series, I'm going to be trading off between books on those. I'm going to finish Hero of Ages. This is the next fantasy novel I'm going to read to cap the Mistborn trilogy. And then I will jump into the second series, starting with The Alloy of Law. Basically, I'm going to be, because there's 3 books, there's 3 books left in the Chronicles of the Long War. So I'm going to be alternating between books until I finish them, and then I plan to start after after the Mistborns are done, or am I in between the Mistborns? I'm going to start is this the Lycanus trilogy by James Islington. This is The Shadow of What Was Lost. I've heard these books are really in depth, and the trilogy's done, so I like that. So therefore, I can get all 3 books and power through those. what I want to start doing with fantasy series is just so I don't get burned out. You read one book of the fantasy series, read another book of another fantasy series, and just kind of alternate. So I'll be doing 2 fantasy series basically, working my way through before I can start another fantasy series until one of those gets done. All right, on to the book haul. I'm going to show these 3. I owned Ghost Road Blues. Well, now what I want to do is after I get done with rereading all the Matthew Riley books, this is probably one of the best trilogies ever written. Is the Pines Deep trilogy by Jonathan Mayberry. Basically, it's vampires come to this Pines Deep, this city, and it's just how they interact with the town folk, and chaos and horror ensues. So we have Ghost Road Blues. So I'll be rereading that one. Oh boy, I can't remember which one the second one was. I think it was this one. Dead Man's Song. And the final one, allegedly, I think, Bad Moon Rising. So I picked up these 2, Dead Man's Song, Bad Moon Rising, in hopes that I will start rereading these after Matthew Riley. All right, and then I picked up all the books in the Dagger and the Coin series. The third one is on its way. This is the Dragon's Path. Now, these books I'm going to probably start reading with the Lycanis trilogy. So I'll be switching off. I did pick this up when I first started to read fantasy, and I put it down because I wasn't really into fantasy. So this was like 4 years ago, five years ago. Excuse me. So I'm going to try this again. This is, if you don't know, Daniel Abraham. He co-wrote the Expanse series, which I have read the first one, and I just kind of I guess I'm not really into sci-fi, but I really want to be. So I might try it again. I'm going to try watching the TV series too. It's on Amazon Prime now, so I'll probably try to give that a shot. So here is the rest of them. Number 2 is called The Tyrant's Dagger or something like that. This is The King's Blood. This is number 2. Number 3 is called The Tyrant's something. I can't remember. So here's 4, Widow's House. And the final one, and the newest, that's a nice looking book, The Spider's War. So that is the Dagger in the Coin. I heard a beep. I thought I heard a beep. I don't know what that was. All right, and that's it. That's my book haul. I guess it's not much of a book haul. I just got a few books just to complete some series. So keep it nice and short, I guess. But y'all have a good one, and stay safe.